niches you can find yourself in. From news broadcasting to editorial, journalism allows you to present your ideas in many ways, whether it be on a magazine, photo, or even on television. One of my favorite forms of journalism is photojournalism, and it is the practice of communicating and presenting news through photographs. Robert Capa, war photojournalist, is known to be one of the greatest photojournalists from 1930 to 1950. Capa didn't do so hot in school and slowly discovered what he wanted to do in life while in college, and I feel like that relates to us in a way because his struggle in college is proof that well-known individuals too go through trial and error to find what they really enjoy doing in life. As a journalism major, and Capa being Hungarian and I'm also Hungarian, I look up to him. He inspires me with his work of journalism and photography to incorporate storytelling with my photography. Robert Capa has succeeded greatly in the photojournalism field, being able to showcase his love for photography and writing through documenting wars. First, I will discuss Capa's young life, then the beginning of his career, then lastly, the end of it. To start, I will talk about Capa's young life. Born named Andre Friedman, he had a little different life experience growing up. According to Magnum Photos, he was born in Budapest with a Jewish background in 1913, and he was only able to speak Hungarian growing up. This gave him kind of hard job later on. He studied at German journalism school in Berlin and later studying journalism in Berlin, and he later worked at a magazine company as a darkroom lab assistant, and that's where he was able to find his love for photojournalism. Driven out of Berlin due to the Nazi threat at the time, he set out to Paris in 1933, where he also struggled for business, but an old friend of his from his old job was able to get his first big break, giving him the opportunity to travel to Spain, which jump-started his career. Now that I talked about his early life, I will discuss the beginnings of his career. Capa is known for his war photography, for mostly documenting wars. Changes his name to now Robert Capa. People are to see an American photographer, and this allowed him to sell a lot of more prints in New York. According to art history, he was given lots of work in Paris, and in 1936, Vu, a magazine company, sent him to Spain to cover the Spanish Civil War, where this photo was taken. It's one of his famous pieces. It's called The Falling Soldier, and it was taken on September 1936, and it shows the death of a militiaman during the Spanish Civil War. This is known to be one of the greatest photos in war photography history. This picture allowed him to get featured in Life magazine, and he also as well was able to get a job with Life magazine. And in 1937, his companion Gerda Taro died in an impacted car crash, and that impacted him greatly. And he took a break for a little while, but was slowly able to get back on his feet. He shot the Sino-Japanese War and also World War II, and in Life magazine, and it was published in Life magazine. And then Picture Post gave him the title of greatest war photographer in the world, Robert Capa, in December 3rd of 1938, and it was a spread that consisted of 26 photographs that he took during the Spanish Civil War. Now that I shared his success, let's talk about the more tail end of his career. With the talent he had, he was able to continue what he loved. He was able to continue what he loved doing, and he also died what he loved doing. Now titled Greatest War Photographer in the World, he went to document World War II. This coverage produced this photo. It's called D-Day and the Omaha Beach Landings by Robert Capa. It was taken on June 6, 1994, and it showcases U.S. forces first assault on Omaha Beach. Later on, after this photo was shot, he was able to found Magnum Photos, which is a photography company, with 3 other of his friends, 2 David Seymour and Henry Cartier Brenton knew prior to when he lived in Paris. And he was able to found it with David Seymour, George Roger, Henry Carter Brenton. And in 1954, he was offered to shoot the French War through Life magazine. And while he was shooting the French War, on May 25th, 1954, he died by stepping on a landmine, which is really rough. But at least he got to die what he loved and fell amongst the soldiers. Now that I've talked about his childhood, beginning of his career, and end of his career, let's wrap this up. I talked about his childhood, his beginning of career, and the end of his career, and he was able to showcase history through photography. And a quote from Kappa: "It's not enough to have talent, you also have to be a hero." Thank you.